Today, we will gonna talk about choledocoscopy. First of all, we must know the basic anatomy of the normal biliary system. So this is the biliary system, composed of the gallbladder, bile duct, and liver. On this topic, we will focus on the gallbladder and its ducts. Gallbladder, a pear-sac-shaped organ that secretes bile. Stores biles with an average capacity of 30 to 50 ml. Before meal, it is full of bile, but after meals, becomes empty and flat. Bile is a fluid that comes from the liver and stored in the gallbladder. Bile helps in the digestion by breaking down fats into fatty acids. What is a gallstone disease? One of the most common affliction of digestive tract. Gallstone is present between 10 to 15% of adults. Prevalence and risk factors. Prevalence is related to diet, age, gender, BMI, and ethnic background. Risk factors are the 5 F's: female, fat, 40, fertile, family history. How gallstone is formed? There are two types of gallstones. First is cholesterol stones. Second one is pigment stones. Cholesterol stone is more common among the two, so we will talk about how it is produced. The cause of cholesterol stone formation can happen in three ways. One is supersaturation, means there is over-intake of cholesterol or dysfunction in processing. Second is not enough bile salts and phospholipids. Third is slowing of gallbladder function. Most gallstones disease are asymptomatic, but if there is obstruction, it can be symptomatic. So here are more common manifestations: fever, jaundice, abdominal pain, specifically right upper area, and can have nausea and vomiting. What is choledocoscopy? A safe and effective, minimally invasive procedure for the definitive treatment of difficult stone. A direct visual examination of gallbladder ducts during operation can be used in stone extraction and breaking up of stone, and they also used in conjunction with ERCP and common bile duct exploration. Here is a choledocoscope and a little picture of its function. So you can see we are extracting stone in the duct. So these are the indications for choledocoscopy. First is exploratory choledocoscopy. If cholangiogram is still lacking or you're still in doubt, you can examine the common bile duct using the choledocoscope if there is still stone or there's none. Second is post-exploratory choledocoscopy. Is the most important indication for the use of the choledocoscope to ensure that the common bile duct and the hepatic ducts are clear of stones and debris before the closure. Third is location and removal of retained calculus. A calculus that cannot be dislodged by conventional methods is sometimes located, usually up in the hepatic ducts. Under direct vision with a cholecystoscope, a catheter can be passed along the irrigation channel, directed past the stone, the balloon inflated, and the stone removed by withdrawing the catheter and instrument together. Fourth is biopsy of strictures. Purpose of cholecystoscopy are visualize and removal of stone, visualize and obtain biopsy and cytology samples, and to assure completion of stone removal. Patient must be prepared before the procedure. First one, the patient may have a diet or medication restriction week before the test. You will not be allowed any heavy meal for at least 8 hours before the procedure, light meals for 6 hours or clear liquids for at least 2 hours. Bring a family member to accompany you because the patient will undergo general anesthesia. Let your physician know about your other medical conditions, allergies, and current medication you are taking. In comparison with cholecystoscopy, ERCP is the gold standard in diagnosing and treating cholecystectasis. The advantages of ERCP include direct visualization of the ampullary region and direct access to the distal common bile duct for cholangiography or cholecystoscopy. The test is rarely needed for uncomplicated gallstone disease. However, for the cases of cholecystectasis, obstructive jaundice, and biliary structure or cholangitis, ERCP has the advantages of being both diagnostic and therapeutic. So we will show a short video of the procedure.
As young as newborn babies. A flexible endoscope is passed through the mouth down to the small opening where the bile duct and pancreas drain. A small, narrow catheter is passed through the scope to gain access to the drainage duct, followed by advancement of a wire deep into the duct. In this example, a stone was found to be obstructing the bile duct. A small cut is made at the bile duct opening to help facilitate stone removal. The catheter is exchanged for an extraction balloon that is passed above the stone. The balloon is inflated above the stone, which is then removed from the bile duct, pulling the stone into the intestines, where it will pass out of the body within the stool. At the end of the procedure, the wire is removed along with the endoscope.
After the patient has been sedated, positioned, and aseptic technique has been done, we can now start the procedure. First, we must insert the cholecystoscope on the upper umbilical region. After insertion, this is what will you see on the monitor. First, we must open the common bile duct or the duct using the shears. In this patient, the gallstones are plenty, so you can extract stones just by opening it. Now, we're gonna insert the cholecystoscope inside the common bile duct. This is the view inside the common bile duct after insertion of the cholecystoscope. As you can see, there are large gallstones that are lodged inside the duct. Stones are extracted by using basket wire, and the stones are placed on the bag. That's the end of the video. Take-home advices. Complications such as bile duct perforation, minor bleeding, cholangitis are possible after the surgery. You will stay at the hospital for 1 to 2 hours after the procedure so that the sedation or anesthesia can wear off. You may have bloating or nausea for a short period of time. You can go back to normal diet once swallowing has returned. You should rest at home for the remainder of the day. Thank you for watching the video.